This lesson is on solving equations. We're going to be learning about what a multiplicative inverse is, which is also the same as a reciprocal. A multiplicative inverse or reciprocals are two numbers whose product is 1. So my first example today is on how to find the reciprocal of a fraction, for example, 3/8. And it's really easy to find this reciprocal. All we have to do is change the numerator and the denominator. So we're just going to flip around 3 and the 8. So the reciprocal of 3/8 is 8/3. And then I have to simplify. I know 8 is bigger than 3, so my numerator is greater than my denominator, so I have to long divide. So I have to say how many times does 3 go into 8? Well, 3 goes into 8 2 times with 2 left over. So my answer is 2 and 2/3. Again, I'm just changing around my numerator and my denominator, and then I'm simplifying to find my reciprocal. My next example is on finding the reciprocal of 5. Well, I know the number 5 is a fraction 5/1. So if I'm just going to change the numerator and the denominator, it's going to equal 1/5. And I know that's in the most simplified form. So that is my answer, 1/5. So again, with a whole number, you just have to make sure that you put the denominator of 1 and then change around your fraction. My third example is finding a reciprocal of a mixed number. So for a mixed number, I first need to change it into an improper fraction. So I'm going to multiply 3 times 4, and then I'm going to add 1 to it. So 3 times 4 is 12. 12 plus 1 is 13, and I'm going to keep my denominator the same. Now I have to change around my numerator and my denominator to make 4/13. So again, in order to find the reciprocal of a mixed number, I first need to change it into an improper fraction. Then I need to change around my numerator and my denominator to find my reciprocal. Now I'm going to use the idea of reciprocals in order to solve for an equation. So with the equation 4/5 times x equals 8, I'm just going to rewrite the fraction or the equation here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides of the equation by the fraction that's next to my variable. My variable is x, and my fraction next to my variable is 4/5. Now I know the reciprocal of 4/5 is 5/4. So I'm going to multiply this side of the equation by 5/4, and I'm going to multiply this side of the equation by 5/4. Notice if I multiply 5 times 4 and then 4 times 5, I'm going to get 20/20 times x. And 20/20 equals 1, so that cancels out. So I can just cross that out, or what I can do is I can just erase this and just leave my variable x here. So this really just crosses out to make 1. So I can just, let me just erase this. Let me just rewrite what I just said. I had 4/5 times x, and I multiply both sides by 5/4. And that crosses out to make just x. So now I'm left with 8 times 5/4, and I'm just going to rewrite this as 8/1. Now I'm going to cross multiply. So I'm going to say 8 times 5 is 40. 1 times 4 is 4. So I have my fraction 40 divided by 4, which equals 10. Again, in order to solve for x, you have to multiply both sides of the equation by the reciprocal of the fraction next to my variable. My last equation, or my last example, is solving for my unknown variable of c. So what this is saying is some number divided by 2 equals 7. So I'm just going to rewrite my equation. So I have c divided by 2 equals 7. There's an imaginary 1 that's next to my c. So this is just really saying this is 1/2 times c equaling 7. So pretty much I'm just multiplying both sides by the fraction 2/1. Because the reciprocal of 1/2 is 2/1. So 1/2 and 2/1, that cancels out to make our 1. So I'm just going to bring down c. And then I'm going to have 1 as my denominator here. So I'm going to say 7 times 2 is 14. 1 times 1 is 1. So my answer is 14. And that is how to solve equations using the idea of reciprocals.